So one of the things that we really pushed for, and our county did temporarily, I think it was about a semester that they agreed to. We really wanted to focus on reading and math and use science and social studies as ways to just build that rich, diverse background knowledge and that content knowledge. So we were hoping to teach everything integrated, right? Teachers really liked it. It took some of the slack off of teachers on grading all of these additional subjects and topics where we were just focused on our grading and ELA and math. But ultimately, it was something that the county decided not to move forward with.
What people might not fully understand is that when we have to separate them out like that, that also puts time constraints. So when we try to build in time for certain schools, allow more time for recess, you can't find that time, even if you want
Correct.
to build it in. And so part of when we do want to do models that are more movement based or more exploratory
Right.
based, we don't have the time for that when we're given these mandatory chunks of time for ELA, for math, and all those kinds of things. So I think that that can really take a weight and time pressures off of both students and of teachers to be more creative with how they use their time.
And some of the curriculums that we use don't necessarily align, right? So my social studies curriculum might be written by one provider, where my ELA is written by another, and we're following kind of pacing guides for both of these, which don't really lend itself to adjusting, right? The way we did it, just let the teacher say, okay, let me grab these six concepts that I need to teach this year from science because I can build them perfectly into this reading unit. So without having to follow that structure and pacing guide of those other subjects, it gave the teacher so much flexibility. When I first started teaching, they used this giant binder and it was divided out by all the subjects, and they said, here, this is what you have to teach this year. I would just open it up and say, how could we take some ELA concepts and some social studies concepts, and how can we make this a unit that the kids are going to build these cool commercials?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I totally had fun because when I first came into the public school system, I was teaching writing. I forget if it was social studies. They were going to learn about Chicago. And so I started finding all this great material about the Great Fire, the Chicago Fire. And we read all these articles and kind of about the early PI system and the mafia and all this stuff about the
Yes.
Chicago fire. And we got deep into it, reading about it and writing about it. And we had this incredible unit. So they're writing, but we're also doing social studies. And it's really fun and fascinating. It makes it so much more enriching for the kids and exciting because it's like little pieces of the puzzle coming together.
That is the one thing that I really think if we would have been able to see it through, it would have been a great thing.